Hi my loves, welcome back to my channel. How are you guys doing today? If you're new here, hi, my name is Genesis and I post videos every 2 days about various topics from mom struggles, life struggles, DIY projects, and makeup. And if you're interested and you want to get to know me a little bit more, stay tuned. I wanted to start off the video by saying thank you so much for all the love I've been receiving. I am about to hit 1,000 views on my channel and I've only been on here for it'll be 2 weeks next week. I really appreciate each and every single one of you for showing me all the love and hearing me out. Even though I know that I'm not getting a lot of subscribers right now at the moment, I'm going to work my way up there and I will reach my goal. But I do want to say I appreciate everyone who has stopped by and watched it. It means a lot to me. Thank you so much. And so today's video is going to be about my miscarriages. I've been holding back because still to this day, even though the one of them is not as fresh as the other one, it's very hard to speak about it. Even though I already have my rainbow baby, it's still it's a very touchy subject for me. But I know it's time to talk about it, and I know that this will probably help a lot of women who feel alone and hurt when they're going through this, and they just feel not worthy and like they're a failure. I'm just here to tell you and to prove to you that that's not true, that you are amazing and that your body is amazing. Just because you're going through that does not mean that God will not bless you with your blessing when He thinks the time is right. So let's get right into it. So I had 2 miscarriages. My first miscarriage was in August of 2016. 3 to 4 days before my baby at the time was going to be turn 1, we found out we were expecting. Keep in mind, both of my miscarriages happened in less than 24 hours, both of them. Okay, so we found out in the morning, okay, we are pregnant, we're excited. I get ready, I go to work. I was a server at the time, so I had never experienced a miscarriage. This was my first one. So I'm at work doing my job. I already knew, like, don't lift heavy stuff up, you know, all this kind of stuff. I already had symptoms. I was having my headaches. I get headaches when I'm pregnant. I'll get more into that in the other videos, or maybe in this video. I was getting headaches. I was nauseous, and I was like, okay, yeah, something's wrong. And I was not getting a positive. I was already late, but there was no positive. So finally the day came that I got a positive. So we were so excited. We're like, you know what? It happened. This is what's meant to happen for us. So to me, it was a dream come true because I always wanted to have babies close in age. And it was like the most beautiful thing to me to find out that we were pregnant, like right before the baby was gonna be one, you know. So I go to work, I get ready, I go to work, I'm working. I'm gonna take a minute. Okay, I'm back. So I left off at I was at work. So I was at work, I started cramping, and automatically I knew something was wrong. And then I was cramping, I'm still serving, I'm doing my thing. I go to the, I went to the server room and I walked out while I was cramping, and I just felt like a gush. And I was like, okay, you know, something's not right. I go and check and something's not right. So that one was really hard on me because I turned to alcohol to help me. And I would turn into the most disgusting, ugly person ever. And to me, like, it's so embarrassing, but it's life and you learn, you know. Every single time that I would drink and I would get so drunk, it was because I was in pain. It hurt me so bad. Like, how could God let me go through this? I would blame Him, unfortunately, that I was going through that and that I felt that. And it was affecting me in a lot of ways. Like, it was a hard time. And keep in mind that that same week on that Saturday was my daughter's first birthday party. I was at her first birthday party still miscarrying. It was the most traumatic time of my life, dude. Like, No one deserves that. And I blamed myself, and I hated myself, and I cried, and I would ask why, and why. And it was so hard to get over it, and like I said, I still cry over it. So then that happened, and we were like, okay, we don't want a baby right now. We're not gonna try for a baby. And we did it. We didn't want no more kids after that. We were good, just us. So then in November of 2018, we agreed, like, okay, let's start trying. We had gone through some stuff at home. We were doing good again, and we were like, okay, I've always wanted babies in the back of my mind, but there was things that would stop me, and I would be like, no, like, not right now. So then my husband was like, okay, yeah, let's do it. Let's have a baby. So we started trying in November. On December 14th, it is the same thing. I was late, and I was not getting a positive. So I was like, okay, it's gonna be the same scenario as the first time. So then that one, I finally got a positive, and I was so happy. I was so excited. Keep in mind that I had miscarried before, so this to me was like, oh my God, I've been waiting for you for so long, you know, like finally my baby. So the same thing, I find out in the morning. I tell my husband. I got to work that day. It was a Saturday, I remember. It was a Saturday. Wait, it wasn't December 14th, it was December 18th. Because I got to work. While I was at work, I started cramping. Then I get home. No, I was cramping. I get home, I'm still cramping. Then on Sunday, I'm still cramping. And then Monday comes, I'm still cramping, but there was no blood or anything. So finally, I show up to work. And so then this one wasn't in 24 hours. This one took longer. So there was, I go to the work, and then, yeah, it happened. So I go to the bathroom, and I'm like, okay, I have to leave work. I'm at the hospital for 7 hours. This one was probably one of the hardest because the 18th was when I checked into the hospital. This was 2 days before my wedding. We had planned to get married in church. My husband had purchased my dress already. I had my dress at home. So I'm at the hospital waiting, you know, to be seen, and I already know, like, it's not, something's not okay. We're sitting in the waiting room, and there's other women waiting too because they're cramping. The doctor, she comes out and she calls this girl who was sitting next to me, and she's like, oh my God, congrats, you're pregnant. There's a little baby in there. The girl's like, okay, can I get a picture, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just sitting there like, oh my God, how cute, you know, she's pregnant. Good for her. She must be so excited. Then she comes to me, and they're really rude in the ER. She's like, you're not pregnant. There's nothing in there. Your ultrasound came back. There's nothing in you, and you're not pregnant. And I was just like, okay. My HCG level was like super low, like super low. I was like, okay. And I tried so hard to hold it in me because in my head, it didn't fit in my heart how God let me witness this. Like, how could I see someone walk out pregnant and so happy, and then you come to me and I'm not, you know, my baby's not there no more. I get home, and you know how it goes. Like, my husband's been amazing when we go through this because he's just there for me. Like, he would hug me and just let me cry and scream and yell, and you know. So this was 2 days before my wedding. I called off everything. Like, I wasn't even gonna do the civil part of it. Like, I was like, I'm not doing nothing. I'm not gonna do anything. But then when my husband got home and we talked, and he's like, let's just do it. Like, everything's gonna be okay. You know, this is just things that happen. And I was like, okay, let's do it. So 2 days later, we got married, and it was just a small little court wedding while I was still miscarrying again. You know, it's like 2 big events in my life that happen, and I have to be miscarrying. And it's really hard because our intent is to have a church wedding. Our intent is for our children to be there, you know. It's my dress is at my mom's house, and the truth is it's there because I don't want to look at it, because it hurts me to look at it. And that's disgusting to me. Like, I pray that God takes this out of me, because it's so hard for me to even, like, for me to think like, oh, I'm gonna go look at the dress and try it on and stuff. I don't want to, because I don't want to go back to that. And it's really sad, you know, because my husband bought this dress for me. Like, it was for our wedding. Our baby girls were so excited. All I can do is just pray that this goes away. So yeah, so then 2 days later we get married, and this time I approached it differently. I did not have 1 drop of alcohol at my reception. My old boss thinks, shout out to them, that I have a small circle of friends. Probably I could count my friends with less than with my 2 hands. They let us have our food there and everything, and then we could drink as much as we wanted. I didn't have 1 ounce of alcohol. I did not turn to alcohol this time. This time, when I came home from the hospital that I was miscarrying, when I calmed down, I opened the Bible and I started reading the Bible. I started praying. I started listening to worship music. I remember just throwing myself on the couch and just crying while I had worship music on, because I prayed to God to just help me and come out positive out of this, and to not go into alcohol. And I did not. So this happened December 20th, and then let me tell you something. If someone you know is miscarrying, do not go up to them and tell them, oh, maybe it wasn't meant to be. Oh, maybe something was wrong with the baby. I hate that our culture blames the woman body for miscarrying. You are so informed wrong to speak to. Before you speak to a woman and talk to her, do your research and find out why women miscarry, okay? Most of the time, women don't even know they're miscarrying because they don't find out they're pregnant that soon. I hated hearing something was wrong with the baby. It wasn't the right time. It wasn't meant to be. I don't care if that's true, or if you feel like, oh my God, that's the reality of this. You don't tell someone who's grieving that. I don't want to hear that. Shout out to all my close girlfriends that were there for me, and they lifted me up, and they told me that everything was going to be okay. And did not once say something negative to me. Don't you ever say that to a woman who's miscarrying. And don't you ever blame yourself for going through that, because you have no control over it. No matter how many times you go through it, you have no control over miscarrying or not. It's your body, okay? You have no control over it. Don't blame yourself. Don't blame anything. What's meant to be is gonna happen, and it'll take years to understand, but you can't do anything about it. Our lives are already written in God's book. What's meant to be is going to be. What's not is not. Do not blame yourself, and do not beat up yourself over it. So that happened. Then everyone was like, you have to wait a year to get pregnant. You cannot get pregnant right away. It's bad for the baby. Like, I went to the doctors, obviously, to follow up. Do not get pregnant for a year. It's going to be so hard for you to get pregnant. Like, if you miscarry this time, like if you try again and you miscarry, you're going to be considered like high risk. Something's not right. All this stuff. And I was like, okay. So me and my husband talked, and we're like, you know what, we're still gonna keep trying. We're gonna try. So in January I got my period, and then February and March I did not get a period. I would test freaking every 2 to 3 days, and they were negative. There was no way that I was pregnant. April came, and I was already feeling nauseous, and I was already feeling like, ugh, okay, like maybe I am pregnant. Now I'm starting to believe I'm pregnant, but it doesn't make sense that I've gotten negative pregnancy tests for 2 months in a row. So April comes, April 13, it finally came out positive. And let me tell you, I was literally 3 weeks pregnant when I found out I was pregnant. There's no way you cannot tell me that this is not God giving me my baby that I've been praying for and asking for. 3 weeks, and I'm already showing when it never shows in my other pregnancies. I'm only 3 weeks. I go to the doctors, and I want to make another story time for this one because this is crazy. I'm gonna talk about finding out when I'm pregnant and the whole pregnancy, because this was the hardest pregnancy of my life. But through it, every challenge that was thrown at me, I remember that I would just stay positive because this was my baby that I prayed for. This was my baby that I have been waiting for years to have and hold. And now that she's finally here, dude, like, she's the most precious thing that I could have ever asked for. She's a little doll. She's the best baby ever. She's such a good baby. She sleeps through the night. She does not cry. She's such an easy baby, and I couldn't have asked for a better baby. And it hurts my heart sometimes when I think of like my losses, because I knew people that were pregnant at the same time that I found out I was pregnant with my first miscarriage and my second miscarriage. And I see their babies. Well, one of them's already big and the other one's the baby, and it's hard. It's really hard. But I know that my babies are up there and I'm gonna see them one day. So all of you women that are going through miscarriages or have gone through miscarriages, do not lose your faith. Do not stop praying. Do not stop thanking God even for the bad stuff that happens to you. Stay positive. And actually, I wanted to show you guys too, when it was like early April. By that time, since I hadn't gotten pregnant yet, I was like, you know what, something's wrong. Like, I was starting to think that something was wrong with my body, that I couldn't conceive. That, like, I was resorting to taking pills to help you get pregnant. Shout out to my homegirl Irene. Me and her grew up Christian, dude, and we have so much in common. And thank you, God, for putting her in my life. I remember I hit her up and I was like, girl, I'm gonna get these pills because I want to get pregnant and it's not happening. And she told me, like, you don't need that. God's gonna make it happen when he thinks it's gonna happen. You're fine, everything's okay. And I came across this meme, like, message thing on Facebook, and it literally told me it said something around the lines of, calm down because what's yours is already coming. God's already sending it to you. And literally like a week or two later, I find out I'm pregnant. It's just so amazing how God works and the things that God does for us. So because of that, I believe that me losing my other 2 children was the devil attacking me in my marriage and trying to break me down. But thank the Lord. And you know what, my pregnancy too, I went through a lot, girl, and I cannot wait to share with you guys. But yeah, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to listen to me, and I really hope that I touched some of you guys, and that that you guys know that we are not alone when we're miscarrying. It's normal, it's okay. Stay strong and keep your faith in God and no one else. Do not resort to none of those Mexican ladies que te van a sobar, none of those pills that are out there, because the truth is, no one's going to give you your baby but the man up above. No one's going to do anything for you except for him. If you're religious like me and you believe in stuff like this is what I believe, that you need to turn all your prayer and all your faith to him, and he will give it to you when the time is right, you know? Maybe God thought that now was the time was right to get pregnant when he gave me my newest baby, was at the time that it happened. That's when I had to have my baby, not the other times. Who knows what would have happened, you know? But yeah, thank you ladies so much for watching, and I appreciate each and every single one of you guys. I hope that you guys have a beautiful weekend. Stay tuned because I will be posting. My goal is to post Saturday and Sunday. Today's Friday. I'm gonna upload today. I'm gonna post tomorrow, and I'm gonna post on Sunday. So my next video will be the finding out I'm pregnant and my whole pregnancy, what I went through. Okay, so get ready. It's very interesting. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and make sure to subscribe so you guys can know when I post the next one. Thank you so much for watching, and have a good rest of your day.